That is how much amazing food I can devour in just 12 hours in Penang. Good morning to a very sunny morning in Penang. Penang is undisputedly the food capital of Malaysia. What we are doing now is to deep dive into the flavors that make this island a food lover's paradise. From street food stalls to hidden gems, I am now on a mission to taste the best Penang has to offer. I'm going to walk 1 kilometer to the first place where I'm going to have my breakfast. After walking half an hour under the morning hot sun, I've reached One Corner Cafe. So according to my notes, I need to have chi chong fan, lor mee, and iced coffee. Okay, so these are the three things that I need to have over here. Okay, given that such effort to come over here, it better be good. The first stop is Super Hokkien Mee from One Corner Cafe. I have to walk 1.1 kilometer to reach this place. This place better be worth it. Right, this is the Hokkien Mee. Wow, people are packing by the bulk. 俾我一碗嗬，一碗。多少啊？
一陣間10點半過後。
10點半啊
10點半過後我照啊。
Oh, so now I wanted to order this Lor Bak. The Super Hokkien Mee is really popular. I have to order some side dish in order to kill my 30 minutes of waiting time. While waiting for the main star, I decided to try some side dishes to kill the 30 minutes wait. First up, Lor Bak, Penang version of what we call Nonya in Singapore. The Lor Bak is freshly fried and crispy. Nothing groundbreaking, but it has that homemade feel. The Lor Bak pieces are smaller and more delicate than what I'm used to back home. In Singapore, typically they are bigger and thicker. It is the prawn crackers and the ngoh hiang and the kopi. And this is the sauces that goes with it. So it costs 780 ringgit. So, how does it taste? Very crispy. Not surprised because I saw him quite fresh. So first thing first, this is the iced coffee. Yeah, 220 ringgit. So it looks a little bit different from the iced coffee that we see back in Singapore because there is a layer of frost here. Yeah. Okay, let me taste it. Now, this iced coffee is a gem. If you are a fan of Nanyang style kopi, you will certainly love it. The coffee is thick, rich, and has this uniquely frosty layer on top that gives it an almost East meets West vibe. It is so refreshing. So this is the stuff that I come all the way for, the Super Hokkien Mee. This costs 750. So let me tuck in. So first of all, add the chili sauce. Let me see how. Wow, it's pretty spicy. I think I better be a little bit careful on the chili. And finally, the moment I have been waiting for, the Super Hokkien Mee. As we all know, the key to a great prawn mee lies in the broth. And wow, the broth is heavenly. It reminds me of Singapore Zion Road prawn mee, especially during the last 5 minutes before they are closed and when the broth is packed with all the prawn essence for the day. This is absolutely rich and flavorful. And if I can make one suggestion, I would ask for a bit more fried garlic to really bring out the flavor of the broth. Toh Soon Cafe. As a Singaporean, I like having my kaya toast, running eggs, and a good cup of kopi for breakfast. So in Singapore, there are many kopitiams like the likes of Yakun, Pavilion Wang, and Toast Box, for example, to enjoy this. When I first see Toh Soon Cafe, it is really like the 1960s and 70s Singapore, with the choice of kopi, kaya toast, and other bread choices. Whenever I see a queue forming outside a food spot or an old school coffee shop, I know I have found something very special. And guess what? Toh Soon Cafe has been on my must-visit list for quite a while. But here's the thing, I just had breakfast less than 30 minutes ago. How can I resist the sight of an old school kopitiam? And what's more, the setting is at the alley in between shop houses. So, what's a little more room for a cup of kopi and some toast, right? It's a feast on the eye just to be able to witness how coffee and kopi are prepared in the 1960s and 70s. But, side aside, I still need the good taste of my kaya toast and kopi to commensurate my relatively long wait at the queue before able to admit in. The kopi served here is incredibly smooth, and the charcoal grilled bread, oh, there's something special about that first bite. The smoky flavor from the charcoal makes this toast stand out. This is simple but yet so perfect. I can't find a single thing wrong with this snack. Sure, it is a little bit hot eating in this small alley, but that's what makes it feel so nostalgic. It is all part of that experience. I just finished my meal. All this for just 750 ringgit. It is totally worth it. Look at the queue now. That's the queue. Oh, luckily I have it earlier. Mo Ting Nonya and Kheng Pin. Georgetown is known for its rich culture and of course its incredible food. But do you know that many local eateries close by 5 p.m? The reason why I'm rushing through some of the sites earlier is that I want to make sure that I'm here for this. Okay, so this is a must do for me in this trip. So this is Mo Ting Piao. Okay, so you want to know what's inside? Follow me. There is one spot I just cannot miss. That is Mo Ting Piao Nonya and Kheng Pin. So what is Nonya? Nonya is a tantalizing array of bite-sized traditional desserts, and it holds an essential place in the culinary tapestry of Southeast Asia. The term Nonya encapsulates the legacy of female descendants from the Chinese immigrants who established their roots in the Malay archipelago. And kueh is the Malay word for cake. So Nonya kueh literally means the cake that is made by Nonya people. I am a huge fan of kueh, but finding good ones has been a struggle. In Singapore, they have become either inconsistent in quality, packed with preservatives, or just ridiculously expensive. That is why I have to come to Penang to have kueh. I rushed through the Penang sites because, let's face it, food is the real star of my this trip. Just look at that. You can tell by the moistness of the leaves and the kueh itself that is going to be real good. And I was very right. Every bite is superb. Whether it is the sweet one or the savory varieties, each one is bursting with flavor. It's like a little piece of heaven every time I sink my teeth into it. And the best part of it is that it is so value for money. All this kueh that I have are just for less than 19 ringgit. Back home, that might just get you 1.5 piece of kueh if you are lucky. The quality and value here are unbeatable. Freshly made, delicious and affordable. What more can you ask for? Mo Ting Piao Nonya and Kheng Pin is a must visit if you are in Penang. So here's the kitchen again. That's where they make freshly made cake. Trust me, your taste buds will thank you for that. Okay, I just finished my meal here. It's so fantastic. Yeah, I mean the kueh is like how I would taste it when I'm young. It's so good. Okay, I think the thing is that they make the kueh fresh every day.
The next morning.
Kheng Pin Cafe. Good morning Penang, good morning Georgetown. Yeah, this is my third day of Penang. So right now I'm in front of this coffee shop, Café Kheng Pin. Oh, good morning everyone. After a long night in Penang, I'm back on my food expedition again, ready to explore more of the local flavors. First stop today, Kheng Pin Cafe. Kheng Pin Cafe is one of the most famous Lor Bak place in Penang. Let's see what this place has to offer. But first, what is Lor Bak? Lor Bak is a popular Penang snack made of marinated meat, usually pork, wrapped in beancurd skin and deep fried to crispy perfection. 给我一人份。Lor Bak is not totally special to Penang. In most other places, we will call it Ngo Hiang or Wu Xiang. The kopitiam has simple tables and chairs, and I noticed some booth seats as well. And I've not seated in an old school booth seat for such a long time. So, how do I find the Lor Bak or Ngo Hiang in Kheng Pin Cafe? At first, I caught that a little bit dainty on camera, but as I continued to savor the Lor Bak, I started noticing the details. The prawn crackers have this subtle prawn flavor. It is like they are letting you discover the taste on your own without telling you. And the tofu, it is supple and full, adding a nice contrast to the crispiness. Overall, it is a pretty good experience, and for 6 ringgit, it is definitely worth trying. Now, let's talk about the kopi or coffee here. I wasn't expecting much, but it really surprised me. The kopi has this unique burnt flavor. I guess they might have thrown in a piece of charcoal during the brewing process, giving it that distinct taste. And for just 2 ringgit, it is a solid cup of coffee that is perfect to kickstart my day. Wai Kee Cafe. Hi, finally, I'm here. I was here, this is the 3rd time, in fact. So yesterday afternoon I was here, this morning I was here, okay. So I think finally I get to eat my char siu. Char siu or Chinese barbecue pork might not be what Penang is famous for, but when I heard that Wai Kee serves out some of the best char siu in town, I have to check it out. This is what I've read. Even though char siu is more of a KL specialty, Wai Kee in Georgetown is said to rival the best. During this trip, I have visited Wai Kee for the 3rd time. For the first 2 visits, I wasn't that lucky enough to try the char siu. But today, I am determined to taste it. In fact, I am their first customer for the day. Let's see if that lives up to the hype. I finally get to try this legendary char siu. I haven't taken mugshot yet. Okay, see you. Just look at that beautiful char and glaze. That sight really lives up to the expectation. Let me start digging in. The meat is lean, just the way I like. But despite the leanness, the flavor is incredible. That to me is the perfect charcoal char. There is still a surprise layer of fat here and there, and even a hint of sweetness from the honey glaze in some parts. It has the best of both worlds, char siu and siew yolk under one roof. They also serve duck, but I'm not truly a fan of duck, so I passed on that today. Overall, it was a fantastic start to my day. The char siu and siew yolk combo was just 10 ringgit and a cup of tea for 2 ringgit. It is great value for money. I skipped the rice to save some cup space for the rest of the day. It is just 10:30 a.m. after all. By 10:40, the entire coffee shop is filled up. Okay. Wai Kee, and for that matter, char siu, might not be the first place that comes to mind when you think of Penang food. But if you are a fan of char siu, this spot should be on your list. I'm going to meet a Penang guy, a Penang local who is working in Singapore. We have been friends for quite some time. I am thrilled to have a local Penangite. He is a good friend of mine who has been working in Singapore, now back in Penang for a home visit. So I'm going to meet him at one of the best chendol place in Penang. He reached out to me when he heard I was in Penang and offered to show me around in his brand new car. Good morning. I cannot leave